In this video, I want to talk to you guys about my proposed budgeting plan. As you guys know, I am an optician here in Kansas City, Kansas, making $15 an hour. So let's jump right into it. Hi my little lamb chops, welcome to Dawson Does Adulting. In this series, I show you guys my journey into adulthood as a college dropout. So if you guys are interested in this type of content, please keep on watching. I actually had to record this video twice because no one told me about this little funny thing called taxes. The first time that I recorded this video, I based it off of a paycheck that I started in the middle of a pay period. So I was making half of what I would be making within a pay period, but they charged me on a lower tax bracket. That's what I actually used to calculate my budget and account for that tax deduction. So I actually got my real proper 40 hours a week, 80 hours per pay period paycheck. I was actually paying a little bit more in taxes and I had to redo my entire budget, thus recording a whole nother video. The amount that I made gross income on my proper paycheck is $1,158.60. I did have to pay a little bit more because I was making a tiny bit more money, and it was actually a 17% tax cut from my paycheck, which resulted in $205.20. So my total take-home amount is $953.40. One of the things I do want to mention about this company is that they do want me to commute to a second location twice a week. They have gas reimbursement per mileage. It's a round trip and it's a 0.475 cent reimbursement per mile. It's actually untaxed. Looking at a consistent commute within a month, my total monthly income after taxes would be $2,080. Let's jump into the expenses. One of your biggest expenses that you will incur as an adult is your rent. And I know a lot of people and a lot of YouTubers online say stay at home or get a roommate in order to cut back on cost of rent. I know a lot of people who like roommates because they're scared of living alone. They're scared of ghosts. I do not want roommates because I'm scared of people. I am scared to live with people. And if you guys seen in any of my previous videos about my roommate experiences, you know that I am the toxic roommate. I would rather incur this little cost for rent because peace of mind costs. I looked into apartments in the area, and I'm not actually from Kansas City, Kansas, or downtown Kansas City, Missouri, so the rent is a little bit cheaper. Most of the places I looked at were around $600, and it did include some utilities. The apartment that I'm trying to get into is actually quoted between $560 and $615, and it includes water, sewer, and trash. In order to make these numbers nice and round, I put it down to be $600 per month. One of the other things that goes with your rent is the utility cost. So if you guys are looking to rent, really look into your lease terms and see what utilities are included in the rent amount. As in this case, it's water, sewer, and trash, which isn't that big of an expense compared to your gas and electricity. Most apartments are renovated and they are eco-friendly so that they are full electric. Anyways, that does cut back on the cost, but it is nice to have some apartments where that they pay for your utilities or include some utilities in your rent. For my utilities cost, it's actually $80. I make social media content, so I need to pay for Wi-Fi. The other cost for my utilities is my gas and electricity. I do want to point out that if it's during the summer, I'll be at work until the sun starts to set. When I come home, it's not gonna be as hot and I won't have to turn on the AC as much, so that will help cut back on the costs. I get colds, however, and I don't like to bundle up when I'm in my home or in any home. I like to get into my comfy pajamas and crank up the heat and have a lot of heaters. Like honestly, I have a heater right here in front of me. In the summertime, I feel like it will be lower. In the wintertime, it will be a bit higher. I don't mind. That's just me as a person. And also, side note, I'm going off on a tangent right now. When I go over to other people's houses, I like to turn the heat up like all the way on max. Cause like, I know I'm not gonna be paying for utilities. So like, let me run their bill. I will be commuting twice a week to a second location in order to work and get my hours in. They do have gas reimbursements, but I just want to set aside a budget for gasoline. I actually put my gas mileage as well as the cost of gas in my area into this little online calculator. I actually calculated how many miles I'll drive within a month strictly between my home and my workplace. It came out to be like $38.80. I am near Kansas City, Kansas in the Overland Park area, so I do like to drive over into the city, get some boba, get some sushi with some friends, you know, chill, go in and out of the city, look around. So I did budget $50 worth of gasoline a month. I actually had to bounce ideas off of two of my friends about the cost of groceries. One of my friends, she's actually a single mom. She gave birth to her daughter at a very young age in her teens, and she's been budgeting for herself and her daughter, providing for the both of them on a very similar wage as I am. She told me she could feed 4 people for less than $100 in a month. I talked to another friend of mine and he's super spoiled. His parents provide everything for him and he likes to Uber Eats every day of the week. I actually had written down $400 in my budget as grocery money, and this is just for groceries from the grocery store, like from Dillon's, Walmart, Aldi's. Groceries that I'll bring home and cut up and cook and eat myself at home. I actually put down $400, and the both of them, on different spectrums of financial backgrounds, they both told me that I overshot that budget by 400%. So I actually cut that budget down to $150 per month. This is strictly groceries from the grocery store. One of my bigger expenses is actually paying off my loans. The thing about my loans is that I actually got a reimbursement check for $6,000. I will link my video talking about how I manifested this amount to come back into my bank account. Honestly, I could have used that check to wipe out my loans completely. I didn't because, especially during this climate, job stability isn't that good. I don't want to be in the position where I wipe out my entire loans, be on a clean slate, and then move out and God forbid something happens, such as I get furloughed or I get sick and I can't work as many hours or get my hours cut and I can't pay my rent or utilities. I'd rather have that money in my savings as a security blanket as opposed to not have loans looming over my head. Loans are actually paused right now. They're not accruing interest. They're not collecting payments. Fingers crossed, praise God, they wipe out student loans so we don't even have to worry about it, but I doubt that they will. For now, I do have budgeted $300 to go towards loans in a month. I actually used another online calculator, which I'll link both of them down below, the gas and the loans calculator. This calculator, you can put in your interest rate, your principal amount, and how much you want to pay in order to pay off a certain amount within a certain amount of years. If I'm paying $300 a month on my loans, I will pay off all of my loans within 2 years. That's not too bad. I just have to cut back on my expenses on other things and live less comfortably. I'd rather that than using my savings and wiping out my debt. That savings is what gave me the push or the comfort, the net to be able to move out of my house. Honestly, if I didn't have that money, I wouldn't have left my home because I didn't have an income before this and I didn't have a savings before this because I was a student. When you add everything up, my total expenses for the month come out to $1,180. My net pay of $2,080 subtracted with my monthly expenses of $1,180, it comes out to a total of $900 that I take home for myself. The one thing that I didn't mention, and I honestly think this is the most important part of this entire video, if you don't take anything else from this video, like take this part, is to start a savings account. I look at savings as just another expense because I'm the type of person who will blow through my money if I don't take that money out, if I don't automate my savings to pull out of my paycheck immediately when it hits my account. I'm gonna spend that money. I know a lot of people, this doesn't go for the type of person who's living paycheck to paycheck because they can't afford to pay their expenses. I'm talking about the type of person, which is me honestly, who would live paycheck to paycheck if I don't track my expenses and actually take out savings for a rainy day. This savings amount, this amount that I have set aside, it is $300. This is my do not touch savings. This is my save for retirement savings. This is my life or death emergency. My tire fell off of my car and I am stranded in the middle of nowhere. Emergency, rainy day, do not touch, life or death savings. I do not touch this unless like I absolutely have to. After all my expenses, I take home a total of $600 in fun money. I mentioned my grocery amount does not include anything other than food from the grocery store. So if I were to want to go out for sushi or boba or get some Starbucks with some friends, that would come out of my fun money amount. This fun money is what's going to be fueling my creative endeavors. So if I need to buy new camera equipment, I need to buy music, I need to pay for a music subscription for my YouTube channel, I would take it out of my fun money amount. Yes, I can go and have another Sephora shopping spree, which if you guys didn't see that video, I'll link that up above. I do not recommend that for anyone, no matter how depressed or anxious you are. I honestly could go and have another Sephora shopping spree if I wanted to, but I really need to use that money to foster my future goals and my hobbies that I want to turn into a career. So it's nice to have that money, but it's also worth it to mention that I have to save it. One of the things that I've been doing to implement saving a lot more money is tracking every single expense that I incur, really looking at what I'm spending just to see where my money is going. A lot of the times, people don't know where their money is going because they're just swiping their card or they're just using cash without a paper trail, so their money just flies out of their account. I want to show you guys this little spreadsheet that I made. It actually details every single amount that I incur within a week. I have columns that say if it's a want or a need, and then a column for totals. And it looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. But if you guys want to see what I spent in a week video, please leave a like down below and a comment just to let me know. Because it's honestly so cool. I went from spending $100 a week in fun money to cutting it back to $50 a week. And I'm honestly trying to cut it even more. So if you guys are interested in that video, it's actually really cool to see where your money is going. And it's actually a really good habit to have. So yeah, this is my budget for right now. It is a proposed plan. As all budgets are, I believe that you should be very flexible in the way that you treat your money. Don't be super rigid. Don't be super like uptight and stingy and penny pinching about it. If one month I actually need to go overboard, I know that I have savings incurred to help me if I'm falling short in other areas of my budget. And I know as for right now, I'm not paying any money in rent. I'm actually super grateful that my friend's allowing me to stay in her apartment. As you guys can see in the back here, her many beautiful shoes and this nice little studio setup. I'm actually staying with them for a little bit as I'm starting work, and I'm not paying rent and I'm not buying groceries either. But the one thing that I did find out about myself with this groceries amount, I'm eating as much takeout in a week that I would be spending money on groceries, because I don't eat that much. So I mean, I am giving myself a little bit of leeway in eating out, especially when I'm short on time, so I don't beat myself up about it. But it's just having the mindset of being able to be flexible and allowing money to flow in and out of your reality, because money is just energy. That is all for this video. If you guys enjoy adulting things and topics such as this, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. I just want to start a conversation about money and financial responsibility for people my age, because I know that's something that's not taught in school, and this is something that I'm trying to learn myself as well. 17, 18-year-olds sign tens of thousands of dollars in loans to go to school for something that they don't want to go to school for, and then once they're out of school, they have this giant amount of debt, and no one teaches them how to be financially responsible. So you know, there's this like constant cycle of trying to live paycheck to paycheck. So like honestly, starting early, starting young, starting a savings account is something that's like really crucial. Just wanted to start a little conversation with you guys. If you guys have tips on becoming an adult, adulting, banking, finances, all that yada yada, leave that down below as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, wear your masks, and I love you guys so much. See you soon, okay?